Hello everyone! Welcome to Melissa's Musing for the day. So today I had a lot of ego-based conversation because John and I were filling in our 30 Under 30 application for Realtor Magazine. And it was interesting because on several different occasions as I'm filling in, information about us and talking ourselves up, it was interesting to me because a lot of times it's really difficult for us as human beings, right? Like, I have no problem acknowledging everybody else in my life for how awesome they are, but how often am I acknowledging myself? And it became really clear to me as I was filling out the application and as we were kind of discussing like how we stand apart, how easy it is for the ego to really discount how awesome we are and our worthiness, right? And so it was just something really interesting to me as we were kind of going through those questions and those applications, how often I am acknowledging others and how little I'm acknowledging myself. The ego is that little person on our shoulder who's constantly going to be talking us out of things and constantly reminding us that we're unworthy and always sharing, you're not good enough for that, or you're not going to win this. And that's really what we, with our mindset, have to establish habits around to be like, I see you, ego, and I'm choosing not to listen. Because as we, advance ourselves and grow ourselves and get our mindset in the right place and really treat ourselves with the love and the worthiness that we deserve, you're kind of bashing, you're never going to let that that ego's never going to go away, but you're kind of diminishing its strength and its voice and how it can affect you as an individual. So ultimately, the message today is really short. It's one that really resonates with me because my biggest conversation internally is my unworthiness conversation. How even though everyone around me thinks I'm a rock star, some reason my ego's like, no, you're a POS. And I get to continually remind it that, no, I'm awesome. So it was really cool this morning as John and I were setting out to do the 30 Under 30 application. We, at first I was like, I was feeling a little bit nervous and resistant to it. I didn't really want to start, it's sometimes difficult for us to toot our own horn, right? And to talk ourselves up. And it was great because John and I connected. We looked at each other in the eye and we set the intention. We were like, if this is meant to be, it's going to happen. And we get to totally talk ourselves up in this opportunity and just embrace it and do our best. So Paul, I love it. So Paul is kind of weighing in here and adding some feedback. Paul says, I'm suspicious when people like me and say I'm doing a good job. Right? I love that. For those of us who have a really strong ego conversation, how often does that happen, right? Somebody will come up to you and be like, oh, amazing job. You rock at this. And your ego's like, do you? Are you actually that good at it? Of course you are. So I encourage you guys, if your ego is bringing you down or delivering a message that's not necessarily fulfilling or strengthening you or resonating with you, you get to totally shift that message and you get to choose to have, allow the ego to have a different impact on you. So today, I told my ego to shut up. I got to really focus in with John on what sets us apart and why we're super awesome. And we submitted the best application that we could, keeping our fingers crossed. We'll see what happens. But it's really competitive, the competition, and it was just fun for us to be able to participate, and we feel honored to even be playing that level of game to be able to submit an application for it. So I got the opportunity today to tell my ego to shut it. I left that shit at home, and we got an opportunity to really talk ourselves up. And I encourage you guys, if the ego is really bringing you down, to just shift that conversation. And when he's like, you're not good enough for that, you get to be like, dude, I so am. And whatever it takes, it might take little messages on your mirror or a really motivational screen on your background of the computer or, whatever it may be that affects you in a positive way. That's what you get to totally shift to and tell your ego to take a hike and shut it. Love you guys. Hope you're having a great night, and I will talk to you soon.